Greetings, adventure photographers. How's it going? I am currently hiking up a steep trail in the Sangre de Cristo Range, located in southern Colorado, south central Colorado. We got this big old pack here because we're gonna spend the next couple days up here, 2.5, 3 days, shooting some photos. I think we're gonna see some great landscapes, and hopefully, we're gonna find some bighorn sheep up here. But we'll see. No guarantees with the wildlife. But I'm gonna spend the majority of the day tomorrow searching for the bighorns. And mornings and evenings, we'll be shooting a little bit of landscape. So, yeah, we're gonna do a little camping, a little landscape, a little wildlife photography. It should be awesome. So, let's see what happens. Not too bad a spot to hang out for a little bit. All right, well, I think we found our camp spot for the night. I think I'm gonna camp right in here. And the lake's just right over here. There's a big peak right here, and I really hope we get a little bit of light for that in the morning. I don't know, it's gonna be a little tricky the way it lines up. But we'll see how that goes in the morning. This afternoon, I think I go for a hike a little bit higher up into kind of the tundra zone here. We're right on the edge of tree line. It's just another maybe 600 or 800 feet above me here. I'm a little bit dubious about finding, or a little bit skeptical, I should say, about finding any bighorns in this area. I think they're going to be higher, but I'll go poke around up here this afternoon and see what we can find. And I had thought too, I might even just go up to the upper lake and camp out there tomorrow night, which is a little bit silly. Just to hike like, you know, whatever, 2.5, 3 miles to the upper lake, but might be worth doing just to check out. We'll see. Well, not too much of a sunset tonight, but that's all right. Had a great hike, and got a great spot to have my dessert. Got a couple cookies and a little drink. And really, that's about all I can ask for in a day, huh? Well, we'll get up early tomorrow, real early, probably 4:30 or so, and see what happens in the morning. Hopefully this whole wall lights up here, and we get a real nice shot in the morning. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. Well, got up nice and early this morning, and it's a beautiful sunrise. I don't know that I really got my best shot ever, but at least we were out there enjoying the morning. It was gorgeous. And now I'm gonna have a little, first things first, a little coffee and a little breakfast. And it's gonna be a little bit funny. I'm gonna actually move my camp up a little bit. I'm gonna pack up and move to the upper lake, which isn't even that far away. It's actually really pretty close. It's kind of silly to do, but I don't know. Just gonna do that and try and catch a little different look, a little different, just a different lake, basically. See what we can find up there. So I was just sitting here eating lunch, thinking about where I'd go hike to find the bighorns. And as I'm sitting here, who comes running through camp but a whole bunch of bighorns. So I'm gonna go cruise around and follow them around a little bit and see if I can get them in some cool spots in the forest here. I just got a few shots, and yeah, I'm just gonna hang out with these guys for a little bit, see what kind of photos I can get. Brought out the new the Sigma 100-400. It should be perfect for capturing these guys in the woods here. I think it's gonna be just ideal. Pretty cool though. I had no idea. Just all of a sudden they spooked the heck out of me. Actually, I was sitting here eating, and all of a sudden they just came running right through camp. It was really neat. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so I got my second camp set up, and or mostly set up, and I'm just gonna finish up a few things here: sleeping bag, sleeping pad, get all that dialed in. Then I'm gonna go out for a little adventure. Couple concerning things: a lot of dead trees up here. That's part of the pine beetle epidemic that we've been having in Colorado, and yeah, it's also a little unnerving to camp underneath them. But there's no storms forecast for tonight. I think we should be fine. And the lake is over here. It's a couple hundred feet over that way. I'm off the lake a good bit, but it's pretty close, so I can get some landscape shots tonight or tomorrow. We've already seen the mountain goats, the bighorn sheep, and they're still cruising around through the forest here, and we're gonna go for a little walk and see if we can't find a few of the bighorns, or the rams, that is, the big males. The other concerning thing, I said there were two concerning things, I think. One being the dead trees, the other one being that I have found 2 fresh piles of bear scat. I don't know how fresh, probably within a day or 2 days old, and that's also a little bit concerning. So I'll definitely be sure to hang my food high and far away from me tonight, because I don't really want to deal with a bear in camp. And there's definitely one up here, so hopefully we don't see him. Okay, so we've got all sorts of bighorn sheep up in front of me. No big rams yet, but there's a whole crew of little kits way up there, little baby sheep. You can hear one bleeding off in the distance. So up by that little snowbank there's a bunch of little ones. And then I've seen a bunch of other bighorns kind of scattered all through these peaks. I still have yet to see the big ram, which is who I'm looking for. There should be a bunch up here somewhere. I'm sure if I find one, I find them all. But I'm just going to enjoy the hike right now and walk around the mountains and catch these little guys playing up here. They're like jumping around on the cliffs and having fun. So I'm gonna go check it out. Okay, so what I've done here is really slowed the shutter speed down. I've got this waterfall here, and I want to kind of drag the shutter a bit and get that really painterly look at the water. So I put on the polarizing filter, which does 2 things. It helps me, blocks a lot of light, so I can slow the shutter speed down. And it also takes the glare off the water, so it darkens everything up, makes the colors a lot richer and cleaner. And So doing that, I'm at f16 ISO 50 with a shutter speed of half a second, which should give me just enough motion to blur the water. It should be slow enough, and it really does, yeah. So that's going to slow the water down and make a really cool and interesting effect. I like that this camera does go down to ISO 50. I would like it to see cameras go down to ISO 5. Let's go even slower. That'd be cool. And we don't have to use like ND filters and polarizing filters and all that kind of stuff. Just slow, low ISOs would be very cool. Anyhow, that's what I think. Seriously steep up here, so every movement you got to really think about. Last thing you want to do is drop a lens and let it roll down this mountain, which happened to me earlier this year on a different shoot. Luckily it was a ski shoot and there was plenty of snow, but yeah, let's just not let that happen. Well, it's not a bad little shot here with the waterfall, but it needs a little bit of a foreground element, and the flowers have just not quite popped up yet. And as you can tell, the snow probably just melted out of here in the last maybe 10 to 14, 18 days, something like that, I'm guessing. But yeah, all the little sprouts of the wildflowers have come up, but there's none here. And that would really be helpful. If we had a couple wildflowers right here that I could use as a foreground, that would definitely make the shot a lot better. But still cool to be up here and seeing this waterfall up close. Really neat. It's gorgeous out. Got up about 45 minutes ago, got out here poking around. Sun's just starting to hit Music Mountain here. And yeah, I'm gonna fire off a few frames. As you can see, I'm kind of shooting vertically to stitch horizontal. Hopefully that'll, oh, you guys just saw part of another project I'm working on. So I'm gonna wait for that snow to the light to hit the snow and get another set of images here, and then yeah, walk around and see what else we can get. Oh, and good news, no bears last night. At least no bears in my camp. Pretty happy about that. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep shooting here a little bit and see how the morning unfolds. So I think I told you guys that where we were generally in the Sangre de Cristos, but I don't think I told you specifically where we are. We are in, well, the last 3 days, we've been in Lower and Upper Sand Creek lakes. And it's a cool little zone. It's really easy to get to as far as the hike goes. A little bit of a drive, and you kind of need four-wheel drive to get to the trailhead itself. And then from there, though, it's a really pretty easy hike. It makes it an ideal spot to go shoot some landscapes and wildlife. Just because it's, especially if it was like your first time, this would be a good first time spot to go. Just because it's not overly complicated. The trails are well marked. It's a heavily used area for better or worse. And yeah, I've always wanted to check it out. Last year at this time I was just over the ridge, one drainage north of here at South Colony Lakes, and there were a ton of bighorns in there as well. And that's a really cool area to photograph as well. One thing that I did kind of mess up this trip that I would not make this mistake again is lens choice. And the 24-70 is a great lens for landscape, but it was just a little bit too tight for the lakes and the mountains here. I really wish I had brought my 14-24. So if you do come up, I would highly recommend bringing your wide angle, super wide angle lens, because I think it would help quite a bit. And I think these shots that we got this morning, they'll stitch together fine, but would have been good to also have the 14-24. And the 100-400 was really pretty ideal for the wildlife. It's not too big, not too heavy, but it's got plenty of zoom power to pull the wildlife in. So anyhow, I'm gonna finish up breakfast here, pack up camp, and take my hike out back to the truck and head back to my family. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks so much. Coyotes.